Well, it's been a business for the first 5 years. Do we think government programmes do any better? No, of course they don't. There's no bottom line to say they're failing. Impact evaluation is the bottom line for public programmes, for donor programmes, for government programmes. So you need to enforce that bottom line against the outcomes to show you're achieving what you said you're going to achieve. So yes, we're going to find failure because most things don't work. You have to shift, you have to choose a policymakers to understand that. Parliamentarians, there is an African parliamentarian group, there's a Kenya chapter and up in developed countries, including my wife, you love to put vegetables in the fridge. It's bad. You lose most of the mineral content, mineral benefits if you store stuff in too cold environments. Preparation I mentioned already, don't peel vegetables. In Bangladesh, where I said I worked on this, they like to cut the vegetables then wash them. You should always wash then cut, because if you cut then wash then cut, so cut then wash, you wash away most of the minerals, so you shouldn't do that. So you need to communicate with people about proper preparation. So all of this evidence is out there, and there is a lot of evidence out there. There's lots of evidence about good dietary practice, how to prepare food and so on, and from all of you people about what works getting farmers to adopt new technologies. That evidence needs to be synthesised, so that actually what we can do is to produce clear guidelines, clear good production practices for agencies doing programmes to promote new technologies, new crops and so on, but also for ministries of health, ministries of education, be teaching children in schools, through community centres, to have posters about good dietary practice and so on in local languages. We need to be having very clear policy, but evidence-based policy and practice to promote, to overcome the manageable, the avoidable losses in food security. So we're starting a food security group at Campbell, and I'm looking forward to one of our key areas working with ICID will be to translate the knowledge we've got from these reviews we're doing, we're just starting to do, into policy relevant information for African audiences here in Kenya, of course, and in Ghana, where they're currently based, but across Africa and in the end, globally. And so I hope that others of you will be interested in joining us in that. Now, this should be a slide saying thank you. Thank you. A fairly minority group, say if you had households only 10–15% of the population, then you actually have to also oversample that group when in your sample design to make sure you get a specifically large representative sample of that particular group, and you may want to do some prior matching prior to randomisation in order to reduce the sample size requirements to get necessary power for those particular subgroups. So typically people, I mean they don't do too many subgroups because the sample size gets too large, but also what they don't do is do the power calculations for it. So I've seen studies where they say, overall this intervention has an impact, we test it for women, it doesn't work for women. But actually we test it for men, it wouldn't work for men either. So it doesn't work for men, it doesn't work for women, but it does work. Yes, that's because you're underpowered to test whether it works for men or for women. You can only test it for the larger sample of all households. So you have to make sure you have sufficient power to test the subgroup you're testing for, and that's what drives it.